It's 2014. There have been several huge explosions at an ammunition depot deep in a Czech forest. 2 workers were killed. Now the Czech Republic says Russia was involved, and it's pointing the finger at 2 familiar faces. These men, the Russian spies charged with the Salisbury poisonings in 2018, Alexander Mishkin and Anatoly Chepiga. The pair were caught on CCTV in Salisbury and accused of using the Soviet nerve agent Novichok to try to kill former Russian intelligence officer Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia. They survived, but local woman Dawn Sturgis died after picking up a discarded perfume bottle with the poison on it. The men claimed they'd been in Salisbury to see the famous cathedral spire. Then they disappeared. Now Czech police are hunting them, saying the 2 were seen in the same region where the arms store was located at the time it blew up. The authorities say they travelled on fake passports, the same ones used 4 years later by the Salisbury suspects. Last night, the Czech Prime Minister revealed his suspicions.
Based on clear evidence obtained during the investigation by our security services, I can say there is well-grounded suspicion about the involvement of officers of the Russian intelligence service GRU, Unit 29155, in the explosion of ammunition depot in the Verbetitsa area in 2014.
The Czechs have given 18 Russian diplomats their marching orders, an echo of the wave of tit-for-tat expulsions after the Salisbury poisonings. Russia's foreign ministry said the allegations are absurd, but Britain said the Czechs have exposed the lengths Russian intelligence will go to. The theory is the Russian intelligence officers planted a device in a consignment of weapons which was meant to blow up when the arms were bound for Ukraine, which is still in conflict with Russia. But the device went off too early.
When we had the Salisbury poisoning, there was this shock and horror that in a time of peace, Russia would carry out such operations. Now we can actually track that back and realize that, in fact, this campaign, this covert campaign, had been going on for years beforehand. And also that in some ways the Russians don't have quite as many of these operatives in this Unit 29155, which has been blamed for all these attacks, as we might have feared. So basically the same figures keep cropping up.
Last year there was an attempt, which the Kremlin denies ordering, to kill this Russian opposition leader with Novichok. Alexei Navalny was very lucky to survive. Now in jail on embezzlement charges, he's on hunger strike. His supporters say he will die without medical attention. Protesters recently erected this effigy of Vladimir Putin in Prague, calling him a naked killer. NATO today criticised a pattern of dangerous behaviour by Moscow. EU foreign ministers will discuss the Czechs' claims tomorrow.
Jane Deeth with that report. Well, earlier I spoke to the former Czech diplomat and MEP Petr Ježek. I began by asking him what he thought Russia was up to.
Well, I think it's very similar to what happened in Salisbury, but particularly in this attack, it seems that they wanted to wage an action against the ammunition depot from where arms were transported to Syria and Ukraine, probably, and they wanted to prevent it or stop it.
And in the process, they killed 2 Czech civilians. So we could say this is an attack on NATO. What would you like NATO to do in response?
Oh, definitely, I think it is. Well, this revelation comes in a time when there is a huge military buildup of Russia at the Ukrainian border. Also, it was revealed how Russia hugely intervened in the US elections, and the US took action. So I think the time has come up to update jointly strategy towards Russia.
Your country expelled 18 Russian diplomats today in response to this attack. We, and indeed so many other countries, expelled dozens of them after the Salisbury poisoning. It made absolutely no difference. So what difference is it going to make this time?
It's true that effective instruments are in short supply, how to influence behavior of Russia. And most of all, its internal behavior, because we can virtually see in front of us opposition leader Navalny dying, and we cannot do anything.
Just one final and brief one. This issue, this attack on your soil, will be discussed tomorrow at the European Union level. We know that the Nord Stream 2 pipeline project, which is being backed above all by Germany, is almost complete. We also know that the last time the European Union sent its High Representative to Moscow, Josep Borrell, he was humiliated by the Russian Foreign Minister. What hope is there for the European Union standing up to Moscow on this?
The precondition is unity within the EU and within NATO. And then we can try to improve our instruments, our strategy tactics. But frankly, as I said before, we do not have many of them at the moment. And it's quite difficult to cope with unpredictable Russia and also with growing influence of China.
Peter Ježek, thank you very much indeed.